Welcome to Private Club Radio, your weekly source for industry education, news and discussion. Broadcasting from Tampa, Florida, ladies and gentlemen, here is your host, Gabriel Aloisi.
Hey there, welcome to episode 164 of Private Club Radio, where we will be chatting with the incomparable Michael Crandal CNG, talking about the new book that he and I have co-authored, The ABCs of Plutonium Private Club Leadership, featuring 15 of the biggest and best names in showbiz. And by showbiz, I mean the private club business, because we're all on stage, aren't we? But folks like Ray Cronin, Dave Duvall and Joe Abilene, John Embry, Bud Gravett, Alan Jacobs, Gordon Welsh, Jackie Carpenter, Mark Batto, Paul Mueller, Bill Schultz, Robert Sorecki, Henry Wallmeyer from the National Club Association, Harvey Weiner, Gordon Welch. Just a star-studded lineup in this book. 410 pages, really of solid gold. And I know because I've read it probably 20 times by now, having gone through and helped to lay out the book and helped to write the book. It's been a long, wonderful process. And I just got updated actually by the printer that the copies are on their way as of today, heading to Nashville. So if you're going to be at the CMAA World Conference on that Tuesday, we are going to be holding a little book launch party. And you'll be able to pick up your book if you pre-ordered. And if you got the special pre-order price, which you can get over at plutonium.club, you'll be able to pick up your copy there with Michael. He'll be able to sign it for you. And you'll be able to wine and dine with some of the Plutonium Private Club leaders in the room. It's going to be really, really fun. And if you would like an invitation to that, you know you're going to be in the CMAA, then give me a shout, because there's a pretty tight email reservation list that we've got to stick to. And we only have a limited number of private invites to that party. So let me know. Send me an email to gabe@privateclubagency.com and I will get you on the list. But I'm really excited to have Michael on here today, because this book really is something special, and I want you to learn about what went into it, some of the lessons that you'll be able to take from it, and just get to know Michael a little bit better, because he really is a certified nice guy. So without further ado, let's get him on the show. My guest today is Michael Crandal CNG. That stands for Certified Nice Guy, but you probably already knew that by now. Michael, how are you, man?
Outrageous. I haven't changed one single bit. Still feeling like 100% and ready to go. Let's do it.
All right. Well, I've got you on to talk about our upcoming book. It's dropping on February 27th, and folks who pre-order now can actually pick it up at the CMAA World Conference in Nashville, Tennessee. It's called The ABCs of Plutonium Private Club Leadership. I'm so excited to bring this book to the public, to managers and leaders out there at large who are looking to do big things with their clubs. So, Michael, this was a labor of love. You worked on this thing for basically a half of a year, 6 months or so. You've put in a lot of time. Tell us about what that was like.
We're both excited about the ABCs of Plutonium Private Club Leadership. As a result, is that we have the same passion for the industry and looking to move it forward and helping those who are in leadership positions. And that's not just GMs, but it's the club presidents, the executive committees, the full board, if you will. And it goes down to department heads. All of them should be in positions of Plutonium, I call it, private club leadership. And I'm really, really excited to move forward the project, in which you've been an integral part. And I'm just looking forward to let it shake and bake.
All right. Well, let's talk about the process that went into this book. I mean, you've gathered experts from all over the industry, and the way the book is laid out, it's a different type of format. So can you tell us about how people can go about reading the book?
Well, it came about, and I'm so glad you give credit to other people other than you and I. I reached out to arguably the very, very finest current leaders in the industry. And that's not just GMs, but it's club presidents around the country. I shared with them the vision. I shared with them your and our preliminary manuscripts to get input from them. And we've got people from all walks of industry, and they can easily see them on the sites that we're presenting to look at. But just a quick goal flyover, if you will. We have Mark Beto, incredible leader in the industry. Jackie Carpenter, who heads up the Private Club Advisor. Ray Cronin, I can be president of his fan club. We're talking about how the focus should be on the balance sheet, deeply into the financial numbers. We have Robert Cerisi at Medina giving personal insights, and I could literally go on and on. Dave Downing, past president of the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. We have John Embry, who is the CEO of Professional Tennis Professional Association of America. Just a ton of people. Gordon Welch, who works directly with the board, and it's just incredible the expertise that's come about, and we've assembled them all because you and I may think we have some degree of expertise, but quite frankly, I know it's shocking to you and I, Gabe, but we probably don't know it all.
Right.
I know we're shocked, and the listeners are shocked as well. But we brought in 15 of the most iconic people in the industry to contribute chapters to this, and I could be more thrilled with their support and their expertise they've offered.
I don't think there's ever been anything quite like it, so I'm again just really thrilled to bring it out to folks here. And it's written in an A through Z format. So tell us a little bit about that, Michael.
Well, that came about really when prior Private Club Radio interview where you were speaking to me, and I asked you at the end of it. I said, "Well, listen, would you like to have today's special?" And you said, "Yeah, sure." And I said, "Okay, let me give you today's special. And it's alphabet soup." And he said, "What the?" And I said, "Well, let me tell you." And I went in through a poem, if you will, that I had written all about private clubs and how they work. And we went from there. And I went through A through Z, obviously, because it's based on the alphabet. So this book particularly is not something chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 with various subjects. I thought, why don't we go from A through Z as it relates to the success of private club leadership? And I'd like later on, if you will, Gabe, touch upon what I mean private club leadership. Everyone knows the term in the industry. You're a platinum club. What's this Plutonium club stuff? I'll touch upon that. We went through A through Z, and so it's not a textbook where you have to begin at page 1 and work your way through it. It's not a textbook that you will study voraciously to take an exam that gets more initials behind your name. It's more of not a textbook, it's more of a handbook of what it really takes to succeed in private club leadership at the board level, at the GM level, at the department head level. It's more of a handbook and so we start A through Z, and we go right on through the things. So it's not a matter of you having to read page 1 through whatever. You just pick any letter of the alphabet you want, and immediately you're going to pick up on subject matter that's relevant to success at your club.
410 pages, I'll add, because I'm pretty intimately aware of the page count at this point after having laid the book out with my team here. But it's 410 pages of just solid gold. Each of those 15 folks that came and contributed just shared amazing wealth of knowledge. And of course, what you brought to the table, Michael, just really fantastic. So I'd love to ask you what some of your favorite parts of the book are, and give people just a preview of what's inside there.
Surprisingly, to those listening who think, "Gee, this book's all about Mike or Gabe," to tell you the truth, some of the best part of the books came from some of the experts that you and I contacted, and were gracious enough to offer their expertise. So without getting in detail, which you can find in the book, some of the major components to me were most meaningful that I got was Harvey Weiner. Harvey Weiner is an icon in the industry. He started his search firm in 1974, months before John Sibbald, by the way, who I give a great tribute at the end of the book. And his insights were just incredible. I was so impressed with them and enamored with them. Another one is Bud Gravett, and Bud Gravett is a name who is not known within the club industry, but he's an icon, big time, Wall Street Journal guy, CEO. It was Turner Construction Company, who happened to be also president of Thunderbird Country Club in Rancho Marsh, California. I got to work with Bud. He offered an incredible insight into what it really takes at a private club for success and what they expect from their general manager, CEO. And anybody could learn from that by just reading it, and as I learned from Bud over many years of working with him directly. The insight that we gained from our experts, if we will, was just incredible. And I have a lot of confidence and expertise in what I do, as you do, as well you should, Gabe. But the experts we brought in really added to the book, and we have 15 of them who have done that. And I just couldn't be more impressed and thankful for each and every one of them.
Yeah, a couple that I really enjoyed was Alan Jacobs. He talked about showtime, the concept of showtime. I thought that was a wonderful lesson about how to kind of motivate your team, get them prepared for what's coming, and I think that was a great lesson. I also loved Henry Wallmeyer's. He broke down, I believe, 5 myths about private clubs and shared those inside the book as well. I really thought that was a great section as well. And then I just loved your advice from your years of experience managing multiple clubs, Thunderbird, and some of the other ones that you were a part of, especially the leadership advice you gave. I mean, it's definitely geared towards private clubs, but really, if you're a manager of any business, some of those lessons were just fantastic that anyone could really take the ball with and run. So I'm just so thrilled, as you can probably hear in my voice, about this book. Now you're going to be in Nashville at the CMAA. And so in terms of folks who want to get their hands on a book, how do they go about doing that, Michael?
Well, those will come to Nashville, and we'll contact them personally. But those are there who have already ordered books, and those who have contributed as authors. We'll be meeting with them and inviting them to a location to be disclosed secretly to them. But we will meet with them and have books available to them. This book, by the way, is absolutely gorgeous. It's a hardbound book, over 400 pages. It has over 30 very well done and articulated illustrations, models to drive the different points home. Completely something you can feel confident in providing with your full board and the president, your own department heads. And at Nashville, we will have a set up there, and we'll be handing the physical books to each one. I'll be signing them, and we'll be moving forward from there. And I'm really excited about that. Really excited about happening at the CMA conference in Nashville.
And it's just such a fun book. It's not, like you mentioned, it's not a textbook or some boring read.
No, it's not a textbook. In fact, textbooks are something that's used in college courses and formal education. But I can tell you point blank that when your formal education ends, your higher education begins. And what the ABC's Plutonium Private Club Leadership provides, point blank, and delivers like a ton of golden bricks, is all the things that you won't find in courses in college. You won't find in textbooks. There you get key performance indicators, percentage ratios, on and on it goes. And those in the biz understand completely. And they're not made to be presented as irrelevant. They're highly relevant. However, when you get out of college, or once you get your foot in the door for whatever reason in private club leadership, as a board member, president, or GM, or a key department head, you quickly learn that all the things that you thought you knew through textbooks, through formal education, suddenly, while still important, they're not critical to your moving forward in serving the members of the club and thus being successful. What the ABCs does, it crystallizes and brings into focus, easily understandable, with humor now and then, if you will, the reality of the fact, this is what you got to do. This is how you bring it all together. And so we deal with some very serious issues, like, even something is like delinquent accounts at members, food and beverage minimum expenditures, capital projects. How do we deal with those? Board meetings. Oh my gosh, what do we do about that? Our committees are out of control. How do we deal with that? So there's important issues, if you will, but they're presented in a way, in real life experience, that you can relate to, you can smile at a bit, and move forward with in confidence in providing leadership to your club.
Do you think you've got another book in you, Michael, after this one? Because you poured it all out there, I feel like.
Thanks, Gabe. And people may think, do you have scripted questions here? No, we haven't rehearsed this, what have you. The answer is absolutely, positively yes. With the advanced great success with this particular book, it is very apparent to me that we need to have a Rocky 2, a Rocky 3.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, oh, wow. I could have been a contender.
You're scared.
Adrian. But yes, absolutely, to answer your question, I have already started, maybe not surprising to you, Gabe, because you know me a little bit, even though I haven't shared with you. I am well into probably a dozen chapters into a sequel book to follow up on this with more in-depth and detail. The answer to your question is yes.
Wow. I honestly didn't think that was going to be yes. I thought you would say, no, I'm done. Because the breadth of topics covered, and it seemed like all the knowledge you had, you put out there. There must be more back in that brain of yours.
I probably put all the knowledge I had out there 20 years ago. and now I'm just trying to, what can I do now? In light of that, where I said the knowledge that we have, and I point out in the book, one of the things you want to avoid, and type A personalities who are club presidents or board members and GMs as well, they give out the perception that, I'm balancing my words here, but the fact is they give out the perception they think they know it all. And in reality, none of us do. GMs give it that perception because if somehow it's communicated to the board that our GM doesn't really know it all, maybe this person isn't the person that we need. You have a club president who gives out the perception, well, I really don't know what the heck I'm doing here. Oh my gosh, then we got real problems. But nobody likes to deal with a know-it-all. And when you think about it, a know-it-all is someone who's incapable of learning. Wow. Yeah. A know-it-all is someone who's incapable of learning. Why? Because they think they already know it all. That means there's nothing for them to learn, what have you. GMs are also sometimes defensive. And many boards that I've seen in my consulting around the country, and Ray Cronin with club benchmarking, I think he is exemplary, leaving an imprint on the industry that never be forgotten. And he's included in our book as a contributing author. And he and I presented something just 2 weeks ago at a club, but nonetheless, Ray Cronin said in his presentation, I learned, he says, many boards govern out of fear. Now, this is a statement he made out of working with hundreds of clubs around the country, personally standing in front of them giving presentations. And he said that many clubs govern out of fear. And I thought, wow, he's right. And what he was inferring is they're governing out of fear is they don't really want to communicate to the members what it really takes to run the club. They don't really want to set the dues of what they need to be. They don't really want to have a capital reserve study that tells the members what it takes to maintain their existing assets and to fund depreciation. They don't really want to do that. And as I was thinking that, he's right, spot on right. And then I went to the next step. If it is true, and it is, that many clubs, maybe the majority, govern out of fear, it is by default that upper management manages out of fear. By default. If you have a board that governs out of fear, for the reasons I just described, and you therefore have management who manages out of fear, it sets you up for a tailspin type experience that may take a number of years to manifest itself, but it will. Well, anyway, in our book, Ray has graciously contributed charts and graphs to substantiate by data the board members who are on stand, and people in club leadership who are on the other side of the table, meaning management, they'll easily understand as well. And if you connect all the dots from A to Z, look at our book in totality, I think that leadership will emerge much stronger, ready to face the future than they ever would have imagined. And the future out there is very, very good for those clubs that do.
You're right about that. Now, the website to pre-order your copy is plutonium.club, plutonium.club. And one last thing, where did the name Plutonium come from, Michael?
Thanks for asking that one. Unscripted as well. But when I wanted to take these ideas and concepts together, I wanted a title to get people's attention. And everyone in the industry understands a platinum club. We know what that means. But few understand where it ever came from. Who decided this? What was the genesis here, if you will? Well, it came from a guy named John Sebald. And many people recognize the name and wonder, what happened to him, by the way? And at the end of our book, we have a lengthy dissertation, accurately so, describing John Sebald's impact on the industry that is felt to this very, very day. And if you're intrigued, thinking, who is John Sebald? Well, take a look and we'll describe it greatly. But it came about, plutonium, is that John Sebald developed that term, which is hold true to this very day, which describes the echelon of private club performance, equivalent to a Michelin, whatever this rating. And he thought, how can we transfer this to the private club industry, which exists in the hotel, resort, hospitality industry? He came up with the platinum club, if you will, concept. Created it, marketed it, what have you. Well, anyway, moving fast forward, John Sebald and I were deep and close friends over a number of years, and he's passed away now, which is described in the book exactly how this came about. My wife, Kim, who manages the Cherokee Town Club here in Atlanta, we met with John over a glass of wine in his home with his son, and we shared some great stories. And at one point in time, I told John that I never thought I was a platinum club manager, even though two of my clubs I'd fortunately and graciously we raised to that level that I'd managed. I said I always viewed myself as a plutonium club manager, and John howled. He absolutely howled because it's incredible. And I told him my concept, that I was thinking about moving forward and going beyond the platinum and say plutonium club, and And he laughed and raised his glass of wine. I think that's great. And we toasted each other and moved forward. And that's how I proceeded with the concept.
That's really cool. It's a great story. I appreciate you sharing it with us. But once again, Michael, I'm really excited to have partnered with you on this. I really appreciate the hard work, the effort you put in, especially when I was struggling with some health issues this year, and you really put in the yeoman's effort, and it shows. So thanks so much for being a wonderful partner on the project.
Gabe, before we close, I just wanted to ask you again, unscripted, but maybe you're hungry this morning. Is there any chance whatsoever you might be interested in having a bowl of today's special alphabet soup or not?
Let's do it. Let's do it, Michael.
Would you? You would?
I would.
All right, well,
let
me tell you this right now. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. What we're talking about here is today's special alphabet soup, of which Gabe and I's book is based upon. You ready? Fasten your seatbelts. Assessments are a no-no. Board members are kept in the know. Capital reserve plans are firmly in place. Depreciation funded means assets don't go to waste. Equity memberships need to go. Food minimums also. Golf is for all genders and the whole family. Hospitality indeed extends to the T. Initiation income is slowly on the rise, while junior programs are starting to thrive. Kids are kept busy while young parents exchange high fives. Legacy memberships providing a pipeline to survive. Members and management are in constant harmony. The nominating committee is renowned for selecting quality. Operations are such that all feel pride. People are in the right places, deep and wide. Quality is never left to chance. Restaurants serve nothing but excellence. Sacred cows are not allowed to graze. Traditions are respected while simultaneously the bar is continually raised. Unbelievable stories abound of great staff anticipation. Visitors covet members extending invitations. Wait staff service is top tier. Extra attention is given to all members and guests. Younger members, yes, they see. Z Club is the place to be.
There it is. Well done. Is that from memory now?
The Z Club place to believe. Gabe, you closed out our book underneath the letter Z with the most astounding, incredible piece. It just spot on, well worth the entire book. If you just went to Z and forgot the other 25 alphabets.
I used to do that when I read books as a kid.
And I thank you for that. It was incredible.
Well, I'm really proud of it actually too, because it was tough. Like after reading that book a few times and just the depth and breadth of knowledge in there, how do you end it? You know, it's like it's a tough act to follow, but I had about 16 acts to follow, 23 letters and 16 authors. And so, you know, to kind of put something together that really wrapped it all up in one neat package, it was stressful thinking about how to do that. And so I actually pondered it for weeks and weeks, and I wrote some ideas down and kind of chewed on some things. And finally, I came up with a little bit of a twist, which I think people will enjoy. It's a bit of a twist ending. So, you got
it was incredible. Not just as a co-author, but I'll tell my club management leadership peers out there, forgetting it happens to be contain this particular book collaborated on. It's an incredible piece. It is really, really good. And nothing else, if you don't want to get involved with the book, just beg Gabe personally, please send me the letter Z.
Yeah, no way. That's not happening.
Please.
It's not happening. It's
all right, my friend. Boy, I'm so glad to talk to you. And
man, you too.
And I wish you much great continued success. And what you've done for the industry and continue to do through Private Club Radio and your own blogs and outreach to your own club clients is incredible. And I'm honored to be associated with you.
Well, we're just getting started, Michael, and I feel the same way, my man. Make sure to head on over to plutonium.club and get your copy right now and pick it up in Nashville or have it shipped right to your home, or office. I'll catch you back here next week on another edition of Private Club Radio. And until then, here's to your membership success.
Private Club Radio is brought to you by Concert Golf Partners, helping to preserve and enhance private golf and country clubs. Concert Golf has the capital, expertise, and private club hospitality experience to help upscale private clubs achieving long-term success and membership growth. For 25 years, Concert Golf has allowed private club members to focus on simply enjoying their club. Visit concertgolfpartners.com to learn more about the recapitalization process.